It was a bright summer day at Hillcrest Amusement Park, and the laughter of families filled the air. David Clarkson and his 8-year-old son Max had planned this trip for weeks. Max, clutching a half-eaten cotton candy, tugged on his father's hand. "Dad, I gotta go to the bathroom." David smiled and led him toward the nearest restroom, nestled between two towering roller coasters. "All right, I'll wait out here. Holler if you need anything," he said, leaning against the wall. Minutes passed. David checked his watch. 5 minutes turned into 10. Growing anxious, he knocked on the door. "Max? Everything okay in there?" Silence. David pushed the door open, calling out. The bathroom was empty. Panic set in as he searched every stall, every corner. Max was gone. The hours turned into days. Search parties combed the park, and the police began to suspect David. Maybe he had something to do with it, they whispered. Despite David's desperate pleas and alibis, suspicion grew. He couldn't eat, couldn't sleep, haunted by his son's disappearance. One sleepless night, David decided he couldn't take it anymore. Armed with a flashlight, a gun, and sheer determination, he broke into the park. The darkness was oppressive as he made his way to the bathroom where Max had vanished. As he stepped inside, faint whispers and sobs sent chills down his spine. "Who's there?" he demanded. His flashlight illuminated 5 small, grotesque figures with pointed ears and jagged teeth. Trolls. The creatures screamed and darted into a stall. David followed, throwing the door open. It was empty. Frantic, he searched the area, noticing a small button by the toilet. With trembling hands, he pressed it. The floor rumbled and opened, revealing a narrow tunnel. David slid down and found himself crawling through the dimly lit passage. At the end was a faint glow. Emerging from the tunnel, David froze. Before him was an underground city, bustling with trolls. Twisted homes were carved into the cavern walls, and a foul stench filled the air. Steeling himself, David smeared dirt on his face and began to blend in. He stumbled upon a butcher plant, where the trolls hacked at human remains. His heart shattered. Stifling a sob, he continued deeper, eventually finding a dungeon filled with children. "Max?" David whispered, his voice breaking as he unlocked the chains binding the kids. "Dad!" Max cried, rushing into his father's arms. Tears streaming, David whispered, "We're getting out of here, all of us." The sound of screeching filled the cavern. Trolls charged toward them. David fired his gun, bullets tearing through the advancing horde. "Run!" he shouted to the children. They reached the tunnel, but as David turned to fight off the remaining trolls, sharp teeth sank into his leg. He cried out, shoving the creature away and firing his last shots. He limped to the surface, pushing the kids out of the bathroom. "Call the police," he ordered, turning to hold off the attackers. But something was wrong. His legs swelled and his vision darkened. His hands trembled as his skin turned green and coarse. The troll leader approached, grinning.
"You're one of us now. If you step into the sunlight, you'll die in minutes."
David's heart broke as he turned to Max. "I love you, buddy, but I can't go with you." "Dad, no!" Max cried, clinging to him. "You have to be brave," David said, gently pushing him away. "Go!" The children emerged from the bathroom, crying and screaming for help. The police arrived, but when Max explained what had happened, their faces darkened. "We have an arrangement with the trolls," one officer muttered. "We can't interfere." Furious, Max vowed never to forget his father's sacrifice. Weeks passed. Every night, Max returned to the bathroom, calling out for his dad. And every night, David appeared, his troll-like features softening in the glow of his son's love. "I'll always be here for you, Max," his dad whispered, hugging him tightly before retreating back underground. Max never stopped visiting, ensuring his father's spirit was never alone. the end. If you would like to hear more amazing stories, be sure to subscribe, like, share, and hit that notification button.